Morning students. Today we shall discuss the second chapter of economics class 10th, sectors of the Indian economy. As we have seen earlier that an economy consists of different sectors. It is a set of different sectors which work together in order to achieve the economic development. All these sectors of economy, that are the primary sector, secondary sector and the tertiary sector, are depend on each other, interdependent and work for one another. What is the contribution of these sectors in the Indian economy? As we have seen that Indian economy is one of the largest economy of the world, and all these three sectors of economy play a very vital role in the development of Indian economy. So all these the contribution of all these sectors we shall see in our this chapter of economics class 10th, the sectors of the Indian economy. So the first question is, what is economic development? As we have seen earlier as well, that economic development refers to the living standard of the people, the rise in the per capita income of the people and socio-economic political upgradation of the people in a country. So what is economic development? It is a rate of production. It means that the rate of production must be faster than the rate of increase in population. When the rate of increase in population is less than the production of goods and services in a country, we can say that economic development has taken place. It also means that the people have great command over goods and services, and their choices in these are also many. When the people have many choices, then we can say that the economic development has taken place. Our second question is, what does tertiary sector include? Tertiary sector includes the distribution of services, training and support. So tertiary sector includes different kinds of services like finance, insurance, banking, parabanking, transportation, communication and host of others. All these services are extremely important in any economy, and tertiary sectors provides all these services in an economy. Next one is, which sector has grown considerably in the recent years? In the recent years, we have seen that tertiary sector has increased to a very great extent. The tertiary sector, right since 1990, there has been a rapid increase in the tertiary sector in different services like advertisement, finance, insurance, transportation, communication and host of others. Next one is, which sector has contributed most to the employment? In India, Indian society or economy is considered as agrarian economy. That is, agriculture is the mainstay of the people of India. So we have seen that agriculture sector is the most employment givers in India. Almost 65% people in India are engaged in agricultural activities. Next question is, where are most of the unemployed people found? In agriculture, most of the people are underemployed. It also means that they appears to be employed in agriculture, but their productivity is almost nominal or negligible. The people are appearing that they are engaged in some or the other economic activities, but if there remains absence from that activities, there will be no impact on the production of agriculture. So underemployment is that situations. It's also be called a disguised unemployment, because the people appears to be engaged in economic activities, but the productivity is extremely low. Our next question is, what is per capita income? Per capita income refers to the income of a citizen of a country. When the national income is divided by the total population of the country, per capita income is achieved. So higher per capita income means the higher income of the people of the country, an upgrade or high standard of living of the people. Next question is, what is an economic activity? Any activity which gives economic benefit, which helps in making a living, is called economic activity. Any activity which is meant for profit or for earning a living is called economic activity. A teacher teaching in a school is an economic activity. What is non-economic activity? Non-economic activities are those which does not give any means of living to the people, which does not mean to earn a profit, are called non-economic activities. A priest worshipping in a temple or a father teaching his son are called the non-economic activities. Next one is, state any two factors of production. There are several factors of production. Without these factors, no production can be done. Land is one of the major factor of production. Apart from land, labor is also a factor of production. Capital is a factor of production, and entrepreneur is also a factor of production. So when all these factors put together helps in the production of goods and services. Our next question is, define the term enterprise. Enterprise is that the persons or the group of persons who are engaged in production or distribution of goods and services for the purpose of sale. When a group of person or people are engaged for the purpose of production and sale of those goods and services, that is called enterprise. Our next question is, mention any one features of unorganized sector. As we have seen earlier that there are two types of sectors, that is unorganized sectors and organized sectors. Unorganized sectors are those which don't come under the purview of the government. They remains outside the control of the government, or the policies of the governments are not applicable to them to some extent. And organized sectors are those which work under the government, or they are the government employees. So there are several features of unorganized sector. In unorganized sector, the working hours of the workers are not fixed. It means that they have to work for a longer period of time. Apart from this, their benefits like gratuity, their pension, their provident fund, etc. These facilities are not given to the or may not be given to the workers of unorganized sectors. Apart from this, the working conditions in unorganized sectors are very harsh, whereas in the organized sector there is a fixed tenure of working hour. The employees are entitled for several benefits like gratuity, provident fund, etc. And the working conditions are very conducive, very good, and states serves as the best employer. Our next question is, what is disguised unemployment? Where is the disguised unemployment found mostly? So on disguised unemployment we have discussed earlier as well. It's a kind of unemployment in which people appears to be engaged in some or the other economic activities, but they are not producing to their full capacity. In agriculture sector in India, disguised unemployment is found. If some chunk of workers is taken out from the economic activities, there will be no impact on the production. So in agriculture in India, disguised unemployment is found. Next one is, in which sector are large number of workers losing their jobs since 1990? In organized sector. the sectors that works under the government organized sectors, most of the workers are losing their job, particularly since 1990. When the Indian government opened its economy, or the impact of globalization was seen on Indian economy, since then we have seen that most of the workers of organized sectors are losing their jobs. Next one is, what was the most important sector of economic activities at the earliest stage of development? At the earliest stage of development, we have seen that the primary activities are rather more important. The primary activities like agriculture, extraction of resources, quarrying, mining, forestry, these are very important. For animal rearing, fishing, and host of others. So at the earliest development of economy, these activities are extremely important. Our next question is, through which act is right to work implemented? Right to work is implemented through National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, NREGA 2005. In 2005, Government of India introduced NREGA, which gives the Indian people, particularly the people of the rural areas, guarantee to right to work was guaranteed.